This meeting is being recorded.
Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want to move on? Let's move through this and then we get to.
We have an addition to the agenda first. You want to add that?
Yeah, Mike, you want to add that ad?
Yep, I can do that. I think I need to make a motion, right?
Yes, you do.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to add study today's agenda regarding the flow capacity and flow allocation of all the sewer sheds and sewer zones.
And yeah, which is related to facilities update plan. Motion by Mike, anyway, second?
I'll second it.
Second by Bill. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Item 2, public participation. We have none. Quickly through the meeting minutes from last month from February 8th. Any comments? There, you don't want to add anything, right? Motion to accept the meeting minutes dated February 8th, 2023. Motion by Don, second by Steve. Any further comment? Hearing none, all approved and all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, so let's start with everybody that's new. Did you want to start off with anything, Mayor?
Well, I just wanted to introduce there's a lot of new people in the equation, and I think it was important that they come and meet face to face with board members and get an understanding of who's who here on this commission, this very important commission, I might add. First, we have a new board member, Larry Pace. Larry, you just want to give a couple second rendition of your background?
Construction background, mostly commercial, some water related. Worked with some of these guys here before, so basically that's my background.
How many years in construction?
I'll be 74 in a couple of weeks. So.
I didn't ask you that.
Over 50 years.
Hey, Ron.
Too long.
I want to make sure you knew I could add and subtract.
I'm not worried about that at all.
Next one is Big Bill, right? We call you Big Bill?
You could. In light of the retirement of Ernie Hutchinson, we have an interim administrator who will be working with us, and this is Bill Iannotti. Bill is a licensed plumber, career plumber. Bill, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your background?
I've had a business for 25 years. Been doing piping, commercial, industrial throughout the whole 25 years on my own business, and been in the trade for 39.
So Bill, come to government as a newbie, and there's always a learning curve associated with that. Ernie's been spending some time with them. I know that Pete will be spending time with him, and I will also assist him as things come up. Every day could be a new adventure. There are new issues that when you've never dealt with before, that will surface, and you have to deal with them. And I think that with Bill's background, not only as in the plumbing industry, but dealing with people and running a business, is part of what we do in government. We're a people business. We deal with people. He understands the application process. He knows how to read blueprints. He'll have to get more familiarized with the wastewater treatment plant and the different sewer shed areas in town, and some of the problems associated with them, and some of the fixes that we've put in place over the years. So there's a lot to this, much more than what meets the eye, and he's going to have to work at it, and he's going to have some help, as I said, from Pete and myself. The next new person is our new plant superintendent. She replaces the deceased Jeff Shortell. As you may recall, when Jeff passed away, we never filled that position. We just allowed Ed Camboni to fill that spot and do his job, and he did a great job. Ed Camboni is also retiring. He's been with the city, I don't know how many years.
51.
51 years. So, you know, it's tough to replace people like that, but I think that we have a new person that is going to step right up to the plate. I'll let her introduce herself to everybody. So the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle Morrison. I apologize for not having a camera today. I'm on the road. I'm en route. But anyway, my name is Danielle. I spent 15 years in the wastewater industry, coming up through the Fairfield water pollution facility. That's a 9 million gallon a day plant. I worked primarily in the lab there, but I was also the chief operator for all process decisions. And I welcome this opportunity. This is great. I'm born and raised in Shelton, and I love the opportunity to be able to work where I live. This is great. It's nice to meet you folks. Thank you.
So Danielle, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about your qualifications and the license that you hold, because they are very integral to the operation of any wastewater treatment facility. And I think it's important that everybody understands your qualifications.
Sure. Yes, I have a Class 4 State of Connecticut wastewater license. I also hold the Class 2, which is the highest class, New England Water Environment Association license for laboratory analysis. My background also includes running the laboratory and performing all of the audit tasks associated with the regulators from DEEP, all of the reporting that needs to go out every month to DEEP and also to EPA. I have a very good relationship with the regulators, so I bring that with me. That's pretty much my background, and I've supervised and managed several operators through my 15 years. So and we operate a little bit differently in Fairfield. We do not have sequencing batch reactors, but the biology and the chemistry is pretty much the same, just a little different format.
Okay, thank you very much. As you can see, she has a pretty extensive background in an area that's important to us. I will also add that I believe that she is the first female employee in this department ever. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So welcome aboard, Danielle.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate it.
And Ernie, would you, if you haven't done so already, can you get each commission member her resume, a copy of her resume?
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I think that I'm finished at this point.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one, our budget. So we need to have our budget done by June to a vote on for July. So let's get started on our next budget. I'm going to say Garrett in April. Gives us a couple of months. I know we do the initial month in April, and then in May is that too early for you? I think we usually started right about now in April.
I'll get together with Danielle.
Yeah, she'll be on the lead on that, and then it'll be good that she's getting started for the first meeting on the budget to get acquainted with our spending and lack of spending and all that stuff.
Sounds good.
Let's actually, does anybody have a calendar in front of them? Or we're going to do a special meeting. We're not going to hold this at the regular meeting. So anybody have a calendar so we can place this on the calendar for April?
What? April 3rd is the first Monday.
So Bill, you'll be coordinating the meeting schedule through your office and working with Danielle to set up these work sessions.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's pick one now. Well, we can't do Mondays, but
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying.
yeah, we can do, there's a Wednesday, April 12th is our first April meeting. So if you want, we can do it on the 19th. April 19th is a Wednesday at 4 o'clock at the end of the day. 4:30.
That's good with me.
Morning.
can't do that?
What's that?
We used to have sometimes special meetings.
April 12th, Mike?
19th, I'm looking at.
Oh, 19th, sorry.
Yeah,
And let me just say that you can do Mondays, depending on the time of the day that you want to come in. You could probably, even if it's in the afternoon, you want to come in at 4:30. I would think an hour and a half would suffice, and that'll work here.
Like,
it usually,
we had some special meetings, I think last year, or the year before, like 9 o'clock in the morning, the special meetings, that is. No good?
it's 4:30, okay, on the 19th,
If that's what everybody wants, so I'll go. with
14th at the end of the day? Don?
We've had some meetings, special meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning. We've had them either last year or the year before.
Yeah, upstairs we did it. So
Huh?
probably 2 years ago.
No, we even had them here.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, it's up to the discretion of the commission.
Let's set a date then and a time. If it's the 19th, I prefer to do it at 4:30.
Okay,
You're out of work, correct? 4:30
Yeah.
always works for you?
I can go either, not in the morning or.
Does anybody have any problem with 4:30 on the 19th?
No.
Want us to reserve this?
Yes,
Location?
Pete. Yes.
And you can do 104, Pete, you can do 104. it's fine.
104? Okay. Sure, 104.
You can even use my office if you had to. So there's plenty of rooms that you can occupy. It's just you can't talk about me in my own
Let's
office.
do April 19th, April 19th at 4:30 at 104, at room 104. Mike, you're okay with that too?
Yep.
Actually, we'll just send out a notice and then we have the meeting that Wednesday before anyway, so we can just make sure everybody's still on board for April 19th. Item 4C, we already talked about retirement. You want to say anything up there, Ernie?
No, I'm gonna just plug away tomorrow and Friday and try to help the city out as best I can.
Okay. All right, so now another one Bill, don't put that calendar away yet. Another one we need to do is set up a special meeting for the facilities plan update / flow analysis. If you want to try that one in the morning,
Go to May, 9 o'clock, 9:30.
I think we missed last month. Anybody got suggestions? If we're doing the 19th, we want to try the week before that. Our meeting is on the 12th. Any suggestions?
Can you tack it on to the 12th or before it? Make it, or is it no good for you? Steve?
Or you want to do the morning?
No, we're saying keep 4:30 on the 19th. You're just saying add it on to that.
Yeah, add it on. to
No,
that.
onto the 12th, onto the regular meeting of April 12th.
Or you can make it the morning of the 12th.
Well, then why don't we just do it the meeting of the 12th? That's probably not a bad idea.
Exactly.
Yep,
What time? Well,
at 4:30, because we're gonna have our regular meeting at 4:30, and then right after that, we're gonna have this one. We can put it on, we actually can put it on, put it on as an agenda item.
there you go.
This is April, Mike, right?
April's meeting on the
12th
12th,
and 19th. The 12th and the 19th, right?
the 12th and 19th. The 12th is the
Regular.
facilities plan update, and the 19th is the budget. We're gonna get started on the budget. Usually it's a couple months. We do the original budget, and we come back and we finalize the budget on the following month, which would be June. So we can vote for it. We have to have it done for July, our fiscal year ends in July.
Fiscal year ends in June, doesn't it? June 30th?
Well, June 30th, yeah. So we have to have it ready for the July meeting, correct? All right. I don't have anything else. That's all we had on here anyway. We had a pretty easy month. We don't like canceling too many times, but this was, I think it was critical with all the new,
We added on to the agenda.
huh?
We had it on 4D.
Oh, no, we just talked about 4D. The flow analysis, that's what,
all you're gonna talk, oh, okay.
yeah, we're just gonna talk about adding it on here. What, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I think that, the board's gonna make a decision about who you want to assist you. You know, in the past, we've done an RFQ, a request for qualifications, and sent it out to the public. Sometimes we would just use the in-house engineering firm that we contract with. And, you know, I think that, you know, we can get that process started. You don't have to wait till April 12th to make that decision. And so, you know, I put that out there for you, but I think it's important to do this. There's a lot of activity in the city now. And at one of the meetings, I'm gonna have a corporation council come and explain about what the authority of the Wpca is in terms of being able to approve or disapprove of applications that come before you. It's very important. And I think you should understand what the legal portion of that is. So, but again, to decide whether, you know, who's gonna do this update for you, I think is important. I think we probably should have some discussion now about it. And, you know, even if you did an RFQ, our current engineering firm could apply for it and compete for it. Because it really is kind of outside the scope of what their original contract services were for.
Okay. Comments?
I just think that, what we got at the last meeting would just shocked me. I just can't get over the one-liners that were given there for proposals that we're supposed to look at. And I'm not blaming Matt individually, but I just think that we need a lot more detail than, was given that. And we threw a few things around at that meeting. And we found out that it wasn't exactly what he was talking about, and that to me is not the way to move when you're spending a proposed $3 million based on that facilities plan. So there's a lot of questions to be asked. And I don't know, I'm not the professional to ask them, but I'm certainly going to be around the professionals to ask them when this comes up.
Well, now there's two parts to this equation. One is the facilities plan, and then the other is the master plan for flow allocations throughout the city. You know, and it's important for the people in zoning to understand what they are, because, you know, I've sat with them and they're in a little bit of a quandary, and the corporation council explained to them that these boards act independent of each other. And so that, you know, when you set the master plan like we did years ago, you know, all the changes that zoning has made over the last couple of years in terms of densities with these apartments, it skews our data. And so, you know, we have to decide as a community if we want to continue down this path, where in the city they should go or where they shouldn't go, and how much that we actually want to allow to come in. You know, my feeling is that we're a hot commodity. If we did nothing for 4 or 5 years, it wouldn't matter. We start up again and they're going to be beating the door down. And it's going to be like that for a very long time. So there's no urgency or there should be no pressure on us to approve every single application that comes in front of you just because zoning approved it. You know, and I say this in a public meeting because I think it's important for you to understand. The other thing that has transpired over the last several years is that we have a lot of new members. Most of you are new. Most of the people in zoning are new. I've got new people on inlands and wetlands. And so, you know, for years we had consistency in the people who served on these boards and commissions. They did a great job. You know, they were self-starters. They didn't have to be coached. They didn't have to be led by the hand. They just, you know, they understand the community. They understood what the heartbeat was and what people wanted. And I think they did a tremendous job. You know, it's not that way now because there's a lot of people who don't see the big picture, who don't know the history, just because you haven't been part of it. And I don't find fault with that. It's just as a matter of fact. And so I think it's, and I'm spending time with a lot of the boards and commissions now, you know, just because of this. So, you know, that's some food for thought. And, you know, getting back to the survey that we want to do on our flow allocations, you know, I guess we could incorporate one RFQ and either have 2 different firms handle the 2 different tasks or one firm handle both tasks. So So if it's the board's desire, we could put out an RFQ. I can get corporation counsel to put one together, and then we can get it on the street, so that when you sit down in April, you'll have something to look at. So look, it's your decision. You tell me what your druthers are.
Well, do we have, when's the last time an RFQ was done, Peggy, for those two subjects?
We put one together for the current Weston and Sampson people.
Right.
We went out and we got 4 firms that applied, that did interviews. So I have the RFQ, I could put it together, go over it with the board and the mayor and the chairman, and see if it makes sense. And then if the mayor wants to send it up to corporate counsel to fine tune it, to make sure there's the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, that I can render that I could render that before Friday.
So Ernie, that RFQ you did, that was just for the ongoing services. This is
Right.
different.
Yes, I understand, but I could tweak it. I could tweak it in time to hone it to your wishes.
No, I was asking if we had an the last time we had an RFQ for,
Years ago.
oh, that far?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's when McGuire.
That was, it was probably Good Kind of No Day. Was probably the last time we did it. When Pete Spang finished up and McGuire took it over.
So who did the plant upgrade 17,
McGuire.
15 years? It was McGuire, right? Yeah.
So that's the last time we had done it.
Well, and we had done, much to my dismay, we had done a few corrections over the last 10 years.
Well, don't forget, and here, if Ed was here, one of the upgrades that we didn't want to spend money on was the scum rate. And that was like $1 million, $3.5 million, $2 million. There was a scum rate and we didn't have it in our budget, so we could not do that. But eventually we found out what they wanted us to do, we should have done and spent the money on. So we ended up doing that. How long ago did we do those scum rates? Maybe 5, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So that was one of the things that we took out of the bid. And
Well,
a couple of other things.
Yeah, well, it was the aerators too, the fans.
Okay, the aerators,
For the
right?
order.
Right. The fine air bubblers, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it was I just think that it was a poor design that we got from them.
Well, nobody on the board knew what SBRs were, so it was new to everybody.
Right.
And Alan, I'm not gonna say Alan sold us on it, but at the time that was new and upcoming technology, so that's why we decided to go with it.
Well, look, that's water over the dam now, so I again, that's why I think it's important to get on the street and create a competitive process, and even our in-house people can compete for it too. Just makes everybody a little bit sharper.
Okay.
All right.
So is there any thoughts about? Agree, disagree?
Agreed.
About the bridge, I mean, you know.
Don't we need a motion?
We put it together and put it before the board.
Mark.
Put the RFQ together and put it before the board, even if it requires a special meeting.
I'll talk to you after.
Yeah. Well, look, you don't need, to do an RFQ, you don't, I just, again, I want the board to weigh in on it from my standpoint. We can do it. There's nothing that holds us back from doing it. But I want to do it in conjunction with the wishes of the board. So.
I'm fine with putting out an RFQ.
Yeah, well, let Ernie, put the verbiage together and then he could just send it to all the board members.
Right,
Review,
right, we can do that.
so we know, at least what's entailed.
Again, Bill, you know, time just keeps passing
I know.
and passing and passing, and you're having the same discussion in April. in April, we should be talking about the next step.
We'll make it happen, Mayor.
Ernie, send it to me when you get a chance, when you're done with it, okay?
You'll have it.
So it'll focus on two main points, Ernie, correct?
Yep. Go ahead.
And I think that you also want to talk to Danielle about it too, and let her take a look at it.
That was a given. Mayor, what was just the two main points that you had in your mind?
Well, it was the allocations for the sewer shed areas
Right.
and the facilities plan update.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get a rough draft and then any other comments could be added, subtracted, and we'll work diligently and get it rendered. Any other thoughts, concerns?
Nope, I'm all for it.
Okay.
Danielle, can you send me your contact info, also phone number and
The mayor already told me to send it all that'll be in the resume you're gonna get.
right, yeah.
You'll have it tomorrow,
And
Michael.
then Bill, are you on here too, Bill? No. Can we
Well,
get-
You'll have both of them, commissioners and chairman, vice chair.
What's Danielle's last name?
Morrison.
Morrison. Yep.
Oh, you're still on?
I'm here. Yes.
Right. Big Bill. Very good. Okay. I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have something to say? Any follow-up? Chairman,
So moved, Ernie.
all in favor? Anybody opposed? Vote so ordered. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone.